As Ed reported this week, former Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger left office after commuting the prison sentence of a man found guilty of voluntary manslaughter. The man is the son of former Assembly Speaker Fabian Nunez. And with me to explain the reaction to Mr. Schwarzenegger's decision is the San Diego Bureau Chief of the Los Angeles Times, Tony Perry. So, Tony, why was Esteban Nunez serving 16 years in the first place?
Because one drunken night in October of 2008, he was part of a street brawl not too far from San Diego State University, in which a 22-year-old college student, Luis Santos, was stabbed to death. Esteban Nunez, who was 19 at the time, and three other individuals were initially charged with murder in the case. He ultimately pled to manslaughter and assault with a deadly weapon, as did another fellow, Ryan Jett, who was 25, who had 2 felony convictions and was on probation, and was the person who plunged the knife into young Santos' heart and killed him. Each of them got the same sentence, 16 years, the maximum. Nunez's father, Fabian, who was in the court that day, felt that the judge had pulled a fast one, that he had said in a conversation outside of public view, but with the attorneys, that if his son would plead to voluntary manslaughter, the sentence would more likely be 7 to 11, because unlike Jett, he didn't inflict the fatal blow.
So apparently Nunez convinced the governor that that was the case. And yet, Bonnie Dumanis, our district attorney, was in opposition to reducing the prison time from 16 to 7. Why? Well,
the issue of whether young Nunez deserved the same sentence as Jett is in the appellate court, and fine attorneys on both sides are working away on it. That's now moot. The governor's decision kills that out, and now the sentence is now 7 years.
It's definitely 7 years.
Definitely 7 years. There's no appeal to what is called a commutation.
But Bonnie Dumanis' office was never consulted on
Never
this.
consulted, and the Santos family, already aggrieved at the idea that Nunez and Jett were allowed to plead to manslaughter rather than stand trial for murder, which could have meant a life sentence, already aggrieved by that, were doubly aggrieved that the first they heard of this was when newspaper reporters started calling them on Sunday night.
So it was really kept under wraps.
Oh, it was. It went through the system like a greased pig. I mean, Chuck Sevilla, a very fine appellate attorney in San Diego, did the paperwork for Nunez, filled the paperwork out December 2nd, sent it up to Sacramento, and that's the last he heard of it. They never asked for more paperwork, more argument. They never called him up for a back and forth. He never had to blunt the arguments of the other side. He just filled the paperwork out.
Well, you can see why Bonnie Dumanis would be involved in this, but let's take a look at our city attorney, Jan Goldsmith. I mean, his office wasn't involved at all, and yet he said he was appalled and angry.
Well, there are times when people have to step forward and give us not just their legal wherewithal, but their judgment. And he gave us his judgment, and his judgment is this is the kind of thing that tears down respect for the judicial system and endangers us all. A debatable point, but the point he feels very strongly about.
But there have been other heads of state, heads of the states of in the United States, heads of the United States, like the president, who have overruled the judges and,
sure,
and the courts and commuted and paroled.
And that's the way the system is meant to work. The executive is meant to have that privilege. Christmas pardons are a well-known phenomenon at all levels. The thing about this one isn't the facts of the case so much, about which differing attorneys can disagree about whether he deserved, Esteban Nunez should have gotten the same 16-year sentence as Jett, or whether the judge did pull, frankly, a fast one. That's the kind of stuff that you file your arguments in court and judges decide.
So you're saying
it's the process. It's the last minute. It's the fact that the DA was not notified for counterargument, that the Santos family never heard about it. And then the fact that if you look at all of Schwarzenegger's actions, and he did a bunch of changes of prison sentences for a bunch of other folks, this one really stands out. This is the only one that seems to involve some potential political influence.
What reason did he give for the commutation? Did he actually say, I am reducing this because?
Yes, he did, and he bought the argument that was made in court and was being made in appellate court, that it was unfair to give young Nunez the same 16-year sentence as Ryan Jett, who actually stuck the knife into the heart of Luis Santos. That argument was made at sentencing and was overruled by the judge, and later was continued to be overruled by the judge in yet another hearing. So he believed, as Chuck Sevilla wrote, that it was unfair to give Nunez, who was part of the fight, who was a protagonist, who did stab a couple of other people, but it was wrong to give him the same sentence as Ryan Jett, who actually killed Luis Santos.
Okay, so finally, the victim's family, Luis Santos' family, they were pretty upset by all of this.
They were devastated. This is Fred and Kathy Santos. They live in Northern California. Fred is a software engineer. They have been very candid throughout, very aggrieved throughout. They thought allowing him, Esteban, to plead to manslaughter was a break that he didn't deserve, and now for this to occur, and particularly for it to occur in this fashion in which they were excluded, and the first they knew about it was one Sunday afternoon when someone called them up and say, hey, react to this, please.
Just very briefly, Tony, finally, do they have any recourse?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay.
It's meant to be that way. It ends at the governor's desk, and now we have a new governor, so we don't even have continuity. It was a last-minute deal.
Thank you very much, Tony Perry.
My pleasure.